Well, hello, welcome to my Bajerski YouTube channel. What am I eating today? Well, I'm kind of doing unusual kind of eating at the moment. I don't eat till 11 o'clock in the morning. First thing I do is drink a glass of water with half a teaspoon of bicarbonate of soda. And then I start with fruits. And then through the day, as you can see, there you go, goji berries, yummy, pistachios, and lots of different types of seeds, to the little tiny bird seeds, because I'm a bird. Wow, beautiful goji berries. Why would anybody want to go out and buy Haribos when you can have the natural goji berries? I mean, seriously, chuck that crap away and replace it on your table for your children with goji berries. It'll change your child's life. It'll strengthen their immune system. Put nuts there with it. It'll strengthen their minds. They'll become geniuses. Give them seeds. Anyway, it's a great day today and lots of water. There's people laugh, you know, and think how on earth can you actually be strong? Well, I've shared many times as a guy on YouTube, and his daily diet starts later on in the afternoon. So basically he fasts through the day and eats at night, I think around 6 o'clock, and he eats fruits, berries, and all of this. What I eat now is vegan, and he's been the weightlifting champion of the world many times. He's built amazing, and he's genius as well. Some people think he talks a bit weird, but actually he talks amazing, and he's very precise and has this deep voice. Amazing guy, amazing. And one thing that I learned from him and a few others, how to meditate standing up. It's incredible. If you learn how to meditate standing up, you need to be Mother Nature. It's a beautiful place to do it, but it's also a beautiful place to do it here. Some of the things that I've learned in yoga, one of the most powerful thing is yoga is a type of life, how you live, and how you move the body in yoga is basically the balance of your life. So if you learn to stand on one foot, close your eyes, you learn how to balance your life. Not just on an aspect of physical movement, but on emotional and everything else. So everything else becomes powerful in your life. And I guess that's everything that we do. All our actions, all what we put in our mouth strengthens us. Today's a great day because what am I full of? I'm full of Malabis today. And let's have a look today. A Moldavite. What's the topic of conversation? I have no idea. Ain't got a clue, but we're gonna find out. I'm just gonna take my cards out and just ask and see what my cards say we should talk about today. Interesting. Okay, let's talk about that then, shall we? There's a really interesting thing that the cards have just expressed, and I think we should talk about. I think that's a great message, guys. So we'll talk about it, shall we? The universe has asked, so let's talk about it. Angel guides, our guides, spirit. It's really interesting subject because I have to be really careful sometimes, because there's so many people out there that will get really offended and upset about this conversation. But I think there was a movement of angels at one point, and I think Doreen Virtue was very much behind that. Now she's changed completely. She's gone the opposite way. and many people have followed her. A bit like a cult, really, instead of following your own truth. They all follow her now, and now she's saying that's all evil. But one of the things that she used to talk about predominantly was angels. And basically that you've got two angels at either side of you walking with you all the time. I'm gonna laugh because I used to, I mean, my work was, at one point I was voted Spain #1 psychic, which meant that people had to send messages into this company in America. And lots of people did. I don't know. It doesn't matter how many, but people did. And the reason why is because people had come for readings with me because they realised that there's a guy up in a mountain that's doing readings, and actually some of the things he's saying is correct. And some people used to say, oh yeah, I sat down and then he started talking about my grandma and saying this, or talked about my little daughter who moved into the light when she was 7, and how did he know this, and how did it, and like hundreds and hundreds and then thousands of people came. And over the 16 years that I worked with clients, it became obvious that in my world that it's not always the case that you've got angels by your side. And I've got a parking angel. It's like, okay. I on one hand, I understand that somebody can be sat listening to this thinking, what an idiot. He's pulling angels down and saying that there's no such thing as parking angels, yet he talks about speaking to spirit and connecting to this psychic world. And I can understand how a lot of people are confused by that, because I should be talking all spiritual and all angels and all protection. And you know what, Mark, you do say a lot of the times on your social media that spirit is always by your side. And so, am I a hypocrite now? No, I'm not. I'm just explaining how the spirit world works. When people used to come for a reading to me, I used to close my eyes and try and connect to their higher self, and then connect with what I believe is the other world. That's the world that is around us at any given moment. Okay, so there's two worlds in one world. The veil between the two worlds is very thin, and sometimes you can feel it, and sometimes you can't, and sometimes you get a deeper understanding, and other days you don't. So I'm sat with clients, and one particular lady who came to me had just split up from a long-term relationship, and she was needing confirmation. As I was sat there, all of a sudden, she came in the room and she had very, very dark, heavy energy around her. And the reason why she was breaking up for a long-term relationship is fear. And fear is attached to all of us when we break up from a relationship. And fear is the fear of the future, right? So that energy can cause a great vibration around you. And it's challenging for me to see. But as she was sat there, I placed my hands over her hands, and then that fear started to disappear, and I could see she was breathing more easier. The mind was becoming more empty. She was breathing and forgetting about the fear. And as that was happening, all of a sudden the fear had disappeared, and the tears were rolling down her face, and she was just in this deep breath, and so was I, because I was connecting with her. About 15 minutes went by. I didn't want to move because I knew that the work, what was being done, was called healing work. It was clearing, and normally I'd finish after 3 or 4 minutes of attuning to her energy, but I knew it was important that I was above her. And my hands actually went down to hers and rested on her hands, which I don't normally do, but I wanted to give her love and make her feel loved, and by the touch, sometimes that can help as well. So I'm touching her, and I've got my eyes closed, and I can see this fear of darkness, this horrible energy which she was creating because of a fear of her mind, had disappeared. Within 15 minutes, all of a sudden, from this side came what I believe was the spirit world, somebody from the spirit world. And it felt like a feminine energy, and it felt like this feminine energy was about 26, 27 years old, maybe 29 from 25 to 29. That's what I was feeling of that energy. Long hair, and it was red. And this lady in front of me also had red hair. So, and this lady was round about 28, something like that. So I'm doing this, and all of a sudden, so prior to that, no spirit at all, nobody. And then all of a sudden, this beautiful angelic energy of this beautiful person came. As my eyes were closed, I looked at this spirit, this lady, because I felt her age, I felt the colour of her hair. It sounds weird. I know all this sounds weird, because how can you feel it? You should be able to see it. Well, I went on feelings. So my eyes now, instead of looking like this with my eyes closed, because I can feel my eyes are in this direction, or slightly lower, behind the eyelids, my eyes lifted up over to this corner. So I actually looked for some reason. And what I looked at was a mirror image of this lady. And I went, oh my God, my heart just went. And I'm now trying to put the pieces together. I've just looked at this lady, I'm giving her healing. Now all of a sudden I'm seeing her here. It's the same person. So, as any of you know, if you go down the path of learning how to understand the spirit world, some of us aren't as gifted than others. Some apparently can see and hear and know everything instantly. Me, no. I had to work so hard to get what I was seeing. So now I'm panicking, thinking to myself, oh my God, is this actually spirit, or is this her going to leave this world soon? She's not going to hurt herself, is she? I've got all these thoughts going through my head that, oh my God, please, I need to give her a healing session, because I don't want this. This isn't the future kicking in, and that's her in spirit. So am I being told? Am I being told she's going to the spirit world? Oh my God. And I'm panicking. I continued, and then I looked again, and I saw this woman, exactly like her, smile at me. And I'm trying to understand what's going on. And then from 5 or 10 minutes later, all of a sudden, the penny drops. So I lifted my hands away. This spirit here is still there. This beautiful spirit is still there. And I looked at her, and I said to her, it just came out my mouth, your twin sister is by your side. And she burst into tears. When I'd finished the whole of the session, because this spirit was there, that's all I said about this spirit, nothing else. And then I read a future about a new man coming into her life, and it wasn't really what she wanted to hear. She didn't want to meet another man, she wanted this man. But I explained that the new man who's coming into her life one day, and I explained every single characteristic about him. And I wanted her to know the spirit world. Her sister wanted her to know, because it was a sister. It was a twin sister. And when she was born, her twin sister passed into the spirit world. So she confirmed this after, because I never let anybody speak. I think where I'm coming to with this very beautiful story is that my belief is that we don't have two angels walking with us at any given moment. I believe that's a lovely thing to say, and I do believe that we have family in spirit who guide us and help us. But literally, every second of the day being by your side, no, I can't say that is accurate, because for all the years that I've really tried to connect to spirit and see energy and see spirit around people and sit outside here and outside Mijas Pueblo in the mountain and basically look into the air and look at the energy and the movement within that energy, and is there another world, and capturing glimpses of another world, because I'm starting to see how energy works and how to make it grow and how to strengthen my eyes to be able to see more clearly and work at it and see, and then look at people and look around them and oh, hang on a minute, there's somebody around you. I can't honestly say that there are angels by your side walking with you, protecting you every day. What I believe is that spirit world works side by side to us, but not exactly 24/7. I believe they're there when we need them the most. I believe when we're sad and upset and wanting to leave too soon, they come, they know. When we are at a point in our life where we're open, maybe, I don't know, when we get to 13, or when a certain point, or if there's going to be an accident, or if there is an accident and we're hanging off a cliff, if I believe that there are moments that the other world are there to help us. When we say protect, what we mean is that they're there to help us as far as our path allows us. Okay? And I've always said that. And when I give healing to somebody, I always say, I would like to be able to give you this healing as far as your path allows. I can't save you. I'm not no savior, but what I can do is help you try and heal yourself. But if you're going to go, I can't stop that. Nobody can, because it's part of the cycle of life. And people believe that, there are moments in our life that we agree. They call it soul contract. And I've still got an issue with that, because I still believe that there are moments that if you get into a car and drive too fast, or you get into a car and you've drunk too much alcohol, the chances are you can kill yourself and kill others. If you go too far, if you put your foot down and you fly, the chances are you're going to get killed. Was that a soul contract? I think maybe you were just being silly, and you made a mistake and you shouldn't have gone too fast. But there are moments that I believe that it is our time to go. But I don't think everything's written in stone. I don't believe wholeheartedly in contracts, because I have seen and felt and listened to spirit say to me, it wasn't my time. And I was silly. I drove too fast, or I took too many drugs, and I died of an overdose, or I took my life because I couldn't cope anymore. But it wasn't really my time, and thus we come back again to go through the same experience and grow, and not pull the plug too soon, not go too soon. So that's my feeling. So. In point in fact, okay, these are the things that I used to think when I first started. You know what? If there's always angels by our side, why are people being raped? Why are children being hurt? So I don't believe wholeheartedly of that. What I do believe, that there are times that spirit has an ability of spirit intervention. They do help us at times, subtly. So for me, there were many times that I could share with you that, oh my God, I could have been hurt really bad there. If I'd have done that, I could have been killed there. And there are points, in fact, that actually, because I was slowed down, and because a mistake happened, or because this happened, it probably stopped me from getting injured or hurt. And that's something that we don't ever think about. So I believe spirit help us as far as our path allows. So you may call them spirit guides, you may call them angels, you may call them what you want. Everybody in the spirit world is an enlightened being. They're all angels. You can't identify Archangel Michael as any more powerful and beautiful than your mum, grandma in the spirit world. I'm sorry, you just can't. They're all pure light beings of wisdom and joy. People often say to me, oh, the spirit world is when they come here, they're idiots, and when they go back to the spirit world, they haven't changed, they're still idiots there. No, that's not true. Why would you say that? Well, because they come through and tell me who they are and what they're doing and how mad they are. And I say, well, maybe what they're actually doing is showing you who they are by the only way they can, by the by the memory that you remember of them. So how can they show themselves to you without saying, hey, it's me? Do you remember when I did this and did that? And you know why I was so angry with Jane and she did this and did that? And they're thinking that they're still angry. No, what they're doing is, imagine if you're in the spirit world and you want to get a message through to somebody, and the only way you can do it is by that person there sometimes can feel something. So you're going to share who you are by what you did in this world. You see what I mean? It becomes really complicated, but if you bear with me and understand this, it might make a bit of sense. So when spirit come forward and show us, they're actually showing us so we can tell people who it is. And the only way we can tell who it is by listening to their story in this world. And a lot of us make the mistake in thinking that they're still like that there because they're presenting themselves to us. No, they're not 28 years old. They're spirit in any form they want to be, but they're showing themselves to us as best they can. And the only way they can do it is by this image, and then they relate to that. And there are times that I have sat there with, say, a school teacher and say, there's a lady here, and I actually described her and her age, exact age, and the school teacher will say, no. And then there'll be another whoever, a scientist who I used to have a lot of scientists come to try and prove me wrong, and I'd say something, and then they'd say no, and then they'd come back to me and say, my God, I remember my daughter at 8 years old who passed away because of a certain reason, but actually that was so many years ago, and who you're describing is exactly who my daughter would be now if she was in this world. And so it can be a little confusing and challenging, because sometimes I can say there's a little girl by your side who is beautiful, angelic looking, she's got blonde hair, looks like she's got really beautiful hazel eyes. I can see her now, and she's wearing like a green dress, and there's like a snake, a little, and then I'm describing something that happened once, and the lady will start crying and say, that was my daughter, she passed, and that was the dress that we put on when we were burying her. And I'll say, okay, but that was 20 years ago. Why didn't she come forward 20 years? Well, sometimes they show us themselves in different forms. So it's complex. It's complex. It's not as simple and cut and dry. And I wish it was, because then it would be so easy for me to explain to you about the spirit world. But ultimately, the spirit world, when we move into there, because we never die, our spirit remains, and we can manifest ourselves in any way that we want to try and get a message across of love. And it's not that they're doing this all day long. It's not important to the spirit world to tell us that they're there every day or give us a message. What's important to the spirit world is their understanding, their love, their respect that we in this world as a physical body with a spirit inside, they are honoring our path, and they want us to walk that path as best as possible and feel emotion, feel pain, feel happiness, and they help us as far as they can with that love. When they see you and I sad, it affects them. That I know. Over the years I've worked, I know when somebody says to me, is my mum okay in spirit world? I say, look in the mirror. How do you feel today when you think about your mum? I feel really sad. I say, well, that's exactly how your mum feels, because she feels everything you feel. So every thought that you have, every single thought that you have is connected to your loved ones in spirit. They feel everything that you feel. So your connection in a thought process, whether happy or sad, is a direct line to the spirit world. Nonsense is the the it's heartbreaking, but it's nonsense when you hear the religions say that only the Pope has a direct line to the spirit world, to God. Everybody has a direct line. Everybody has that connection. It's a universal gift everybody has. And just because I do it doesn't mean you can't do it. I worked damn hard to try and feel spirit. And I worked harder than most people. A lot of people have a gift and it's very easy for them. For me, it was a struggle. I had to work, clear my mind, clear my worry, clear my fear. And eventually I'm able to see things, snippets. And then I have to put pieces together, the jigsaw together. And sometimes I don't get it right, but sometimes I get it bang on. And then they'll say, oh my God, Mark, you have no idea what you've just said. And helping people who were stuck in certain situations that you could never imagine, the painful situations, and that spirit were able to help them through me trying to put the pieces together. And I'm going, I don't understand a word I'm coming out with. And they're going, no, don't stop. I know exactly what you're saying. And it's beautiful to know that what is being given to you is truth and has helped people. And it isn't evil. And the religion will tell you it's evil and I'm delving in bad things. That is so wrong and so negative, and that stops us from attuning to our beautiful spirit world, who do help us at times. And when you have that connection and you know that they're there, like my mum, she's always there, always there. I can feel her always there. Why? Because I talk to her. I have a connection with her. And that doesn't mean she's always here, literally, like people say, and say that you've got two angels always by you. What I mean is that the connection I have is like your phone. All you need to do is send somebody in the spirit world your message and they get it straight away. It's the same thing. Your message is here and you can send it to them and say you love them and thank you for being here. And when you have an experience where you oh my God, what's going to happen now? It's the same energy, it's the same connection, it's the same message that the spirit world will hear and go, and then come to your aid as best they can, as far as your path allows, as far as your healing path, as far as your learning path allows. So I wanted to give you a little insight into the world of the world that is far more than what we believe is just eating, drinking, sleeping and working. I believe, yes, that the spirit world is always around us, but they are also doing many other things. They also live their spiritual light. They live, they feel, and they are one with whatever they're doing in the spirit world, which is beyond yours, mine, or anybody's understanding. Doesn't matter what kind of understanding people say. I don't even think if there's a beach, if you picked up one grain of sand, that would be as much as you could possibly understand what the spirit world is and how it works, because it's far more than we could ever understand. So it's so challenging, and when people start to say, oh, there's two angels by your side always, I just think, yeah, I'm not really sure about that. And it's nice to say it, I guess, and it's nice to make people feel better, but you know what, I think it's better speaking truth than just saying it because you've read it. Okay, so my feeling is to connect to the spirit world, to connect to whatever you want to call them, spirit guides, angels, family and spirit, archangels, whatever you want. I believe it's equal and they will always be there to help us as far as our path allows. Protection is always there, but we still have to learn the earthly life of pain and suffering. Pain is inevitable, suffering is optional. I often say that, and I do believe with my hand on my heart that we have to experience both good and bad, love, evil, darkness, hate, challenges, inner demons. All of these things are part of the journey. So for me, looking at all of that as from the outside, what is it? What do we do with that? What do we do with that? What do we do with our life? Well, I've showed you. You eat healthy foods. You drink plenty of water. You check your room for negative energy with lemons. when your room has got negative energy, you work with cleansing the energy in the room. You work with Moldavite, crystals, you work with oils, you heal yourself, you strengthen yourself, you go into meditation, you go into Mother Nature, you try and surround yourself with good and kind people, you work towards being a happy person, you learn as hard as you can, as much as you can every day to let go of the fear, and try and find your balance. Let go of the fear, find your balance, strengthen, let go of the fear. What ifs, what if this, let it go. Because once you learn to grow, once you learn to step out of the fear and the worry, health becomes much more powerful in your body, because the fear makes you feel ill and then you become ill. So once you've grown, then all of a sudden your body starts to vibrate at a new energy. That energy becomes stronger and stronger. Thus you protect yourself. You're protecting yourself. You're healing yourself. You're becoming more protective. So less people will attack you. Less people will, because of the confidence and the strength and the love and the happiness. Fear attracts fear, anger attracts anger. So when you're letting all of that go, you're becoming stronger and stronger. Thus, you have a happier and healthier life. You're more protected. You're more in tune to the spirit world now, because you are more aware of things. So you end up not being in more challenging situations with people. You let go of people who are toxic, who are negative, who want to hurt you, who can't help but be awful to you. And you find your happiness and your life and your strength. You find things that make you happy. You don't listen to people who are negative, who are always saying negative things. Stay away from them, and you stop being negative yourself by saying negative things. So you learn to listen to what your voice is saying. You learn to listen to what your thoughts are. You strengthen your thoughts to say, I am beautiful, I am perfect, I am strong, I am this, I am. You confirm to yourself every day. You look after yourself. You work on yourself. And that is exactly why I believe that once you've got to that attunement and that energy, you become lighter of everything and you feel more. Once you feel more, then all of a sudden life becomes more beautiful. You become more aware of things. And thus, sometimes, just sometimes, you can hear the spirit world, you can feel them around you. And it's like, whoa, that's amazing. Did I just feel that? It was that spirit in the room. Is that my family? Is that my mum? Is that? And then you start to try and connect to them. And all of a sudden your life becomes like so different. And this is what happened to me. And from that moment on, when I realized that the spirit world is around us and they do help us, but I don't think they're there 24/7. I don't believe that. I believe that they have a life in the spirit world and they do what they do, whatever that is. And they do come every now and again and help us as much as they can, but they cannot interfere with our earthly life, because what's the point in coming here anyway? And I often say this to people, you know what, if you want to connect to the spirit world 24 hours a day, then what was the point of coming here? You might as well stay at home. We come here to feel and learn and to experience. But you know what? We're not here to be beat up. We're not here for the challenges all the time. We're here to grow from the challenges. We're here to become more powerful and more happier and more loving and more kind and more generous, and all the positive things that make you happy to live an earthly life, that you look back and say, you know what? I did experience pain and suffering, but I conquered that and learned how to live a beautiful, balanced earthly life of giving, sharing and caring. And that's my message today. I hope you have a lovely day, guys. I could talk forever. I love you with all my heart. And you are beautiful. Don't ever forget that. You are. And of course, we're protected as far as our path allows. So be the best version of yourself. I know you do every day. And thank you for going to Bajerski.com and buying your genuine, authentic spiritual tools that I work with every day. They've helped me through my life, and they do every day. Every day I work with them, and they make me feel stronger, happier, more connected to the world that we try and connect to help us along our journey. Because it's nice to hear the whispers of spirit, because they do help us. What do you think channeling is? What do you think when you're writing and it just comes from nowhere? It doesn't. It's your imagination which is connected to the spirit world, because the imagination is so powerful that you receive information and downloads that help us along our journey. They're there to help us, not to hurt us. Okay, have a great day, guys. Thank you for subscribing to this channel, and I hope to see you for 4 beautiful days in Canada, Toronto, April the 10th, 11th, 12th and 13th, for a beautiful 4-day experience of pure energy healing. It's going to be great. And also in Spain, I think that's now June the 11th, 12th, 13th and 14th on a magical mountain. It's going to be great, and I'll love to spend those 4 days with you and show you all the techniques that I've learned and help me along my journey. Have a great day, guys, from my heart to yours. Take care. Bye.